All right, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. I was freaking sitting here trying to figure this out. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Isaiah Bradford. I am an online fitness coach, and I help guys transform internally through the gym and also get freaking jacked in the process. If you want any testimonials, any credentials, go to my Instagram. Same name as my YouTube. Anyway, so a lot of you guys need to understand that when it comes to going to the gym, when it comes to developing into the person that you want to become, it's not just about the physique. It's not just about going into the gym and just going from being this version of you to this, and then magically you're just the most amazing person in the world. No, the reality of it is a lot of you guys are dealing with so many different issues and you don't even realize it because you're so used to being in the same cycle that you're in. I'm going to go from showing you guys a surface level how to do that, and then also diving deeper into how to transform internally as well. So this is going to be a longer video. Sit down, grab a freaking notebook, take notes, because I'm going to tell you guys exactly what you need to do. You don't need to buy a freaking course. You don't need to go around on freaking Reddit, YouTube, TikTok, seeing what the best freaking exercises are. I'm going to show you guys what to do right here, right now. So sit down and watch it, and guarantee if you implement this, you're going to get freaking jacked and become a better person overall. But a lot of you guys are just dealing with a lot of deep-rooted insecurities with your body, negative self-talk. You have low confidence, low self-worth due to being skinny, fat, or skinny fat and overlooked. You have poor mental health stemming from body image and all of these other problems. And these are just 8, but you guys are dealing with things that are deeper than just the physique, but it started there. So, and even if you're fat or if you're skinny fat, bro, all of this is applicable, bro. It's literally the same thing, but just different in a very minuscule way. So first of all, you guys need to drill in your head that you're not going to become the person that you want to be by simply just having the physique. If you go into the gym and you're able to just do steroids and eat McDonald's every day and stay this version of you, you're not going to go from being this right here to magically becoming this version of you that we're going to go over later in the video. And in the reality, this is just like the start. This is just the surface level. But once you're able to get the surface level down, you're going to be able to apply it to other aspects of your life. So biggest thing that you guys need to understand is before anything else, you have to develop the right habits necessary to actually become this version of you that you're currently not. So before I even go into that, oh man, I just closed my screen. All right, before I even go into that, the biggest thing that you guys need to understand or ask yourself is, what is this version of myself doing on a day-to-day basis that's preventing me from being this jacked freaking crazy version of myself that I actually want to become? What is he doing day by day that I'm not doing, and how do I implement that in my own life to actually become this version of me and that be a reflection through my physique, right? Because that's the biggest point of this. The point of going to the gym is not just to be a bigger loser. It's not the point. It's to become a version of you that you're genuinely proud to be and that you are able to face in the mirror and be happy about. So that all starts with your habits. And I just wrote a couple of these down, but I'm just going to bang these out in the video in real time because I'm not going to just sit here and take all the time to just set up the presentation where I can just be talking to you guys this whole time. So the most basic things that you guys need to start implementing right now, like after this video, is just a simple wake up time, hitting your macros and following a set routine. And obviously there's going to be much more to this, but you can start by doing this because at the end of the day, the version of you that you're not right now is practicing these habits every single day without fail, or with the lowest amount of the lowest failure rate that we can think of. So why the wake up time? Why the macros? Why the set routine? Because a lot of you guys are going into the gym with the intention of, if I just with this just show up mindset, right? You guys just want to show up and you just want to be in the gym. You want to go in the gym and take your freaking selfie and feel good about yourself and then not make any actual real progress. So you're just showing up and you're just kind of going with the flow, right? You're just going with the flow. And the thing that's going to shock you, if you don't realize it already, is that going with the flow is going to do this to you, right? If you're a freaking beginner in the gym, of course, in the start, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to the gym, I'm making some progress, right? But you don't have a solidified routine. You don't have a solidified system that you're going to follow. So your progress is going to be something like this, right? I don't know why the freaking Myro did that, but bro, you're going to be making some progress a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're going to plateau and freaking crash, right? And the reason behind this happening is because, like I said, you don't have the right freaking systems in place. So If you're making progress in the gym and you're just kind of half efforting it and you're not really applying yourself in the way that you need to, for example, let's say you're going to the gym and you don't have a set workout routine, you don't even know what body parts you need to hit every single day, and you don't have that gauge or that minimal that minimum floor that you have to hit every single day, right? And we can call this like the needle moving task, right? Like needle movers, right? And I know I'm kind of rambling on, but just bear with me because you guys are actually going to benefit from this once I actually get into the groove of it. This is just like my first time making this kind of freaking video. But anyway, like for example, the needle moving task could be something as simple as hitting your macros, right? Hold on, let me freaking fix this. Hitting your macros. Okay. And you might ask me, Isaiah, what is a macro? What is a calorie, right? And at the end of the day, it's just the amount of energy that food contains that your body is going to do something with, right? So if you're skinny, right, you need to understand what is my maintenance. Like what's my maintenance, right? What's the maintenance? Maintenance is just the amount of calories that you need to eat to maintain the same amount of weight, right? And the reason why you need to find this gauge is just because if you don't know what your maintenance is, you're never going to be able to actually eat in a surplus or a deficit if you're freaking fat watching this video. So how do you find your maintenance level? How do you find your calories? How do you do this, do that? Bro, simple. It's the most simple thing, right? What you need to do step by step to just find your maintenance, which is the very first thing, the most easy thing that you can possibly do, is just download a freaking calorie tracker. So like MyFitnessPal, for example, right? Whatever, MyFitnessPal, download that, input your stats, right? Input your weight, height, goal, activity level, activity level. All right. And basically, all this is going to do is going to calculate your BMI, your activity level, all of that. And then it's going to give you a freaking, why is this so fat? Hold on. It's going to give you a freaking ballpark, right? And let's say, for example, like you're 120 pounds, you're skinny, you're insecure, blah, 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 and you're trying to fix it. This is the first thing that you need to start with because you can do everything else and make absolutely zero progress. So, it's going to give you a ballpark, right? Let's say you're like 120 pounds or 150 pounds, whatever you're at, and let's say it gives you, let's say 2,000 calories a day, right? And then your macros is looking something like we can just do like high protein, low carb, whatever it is, right? Biggest thing is just your calories for a beginner, your calories and your protein, right? And then literally your protein is just going to be like 0.5 or 2 extra body weight. All right, let's say you get this number generated from MyFitnessPal and it's saying, okay, you need to eat 2,000 calories a day to gain half a pound a week. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to eat at this amount of calories for a week or two. Let's just say 2 weeks, right? And every single week, what you want to do is weigh yourself dry in the morning. And what I mean by that is waking up first thing in the morning, post bathroom, post, you know, ripping it on the toilet so you can get an accurate weight, right? And let's say you step on a scale, you go from like, I don't know, let's say 120 pounds to, let's say 121 pounds in 2 weeks. So you're gaining half a pound a week. What you're going to do is just eat at this amount of calories, eat at freaking 2K calories consistently. And I don't know if I can move this. So eat at 2K calories consistently. And then what you're going to do is you're going to notice like you're going to be gaining weight, right? You're going to be gaining weight. And I'm going to just draw this out so you guys can really see what I'm saying. You're going to be gaining weight, say like half a pound a week, right? And then eventually you're going to hit a plateau. And this is where a lot of you guys end up quitting because you're like, what do you mean, bro? I was eating 2,000 calories every single week and I was gaining half a pound a week. All of a sudden, I can't gain weight anymore. Maybe it's just my genetics that are stopping me from actually gaining the weight that I want to, or my genetics just don't want me to be freaking jacked. No, that's wrong. And if you think like that, you're stupid. The only thing that you need to do once you hit this plateau right here is go to the amount of calories that you were eating before, right? 2,000 calories. And I'm going to blow your mind right now, right? This is going to be so shocking. You ready? Oh my gosh, I have to up my calories so I can gain weight. Bro, literally up your calories if you plateau. And the way that you go about this is just upping it by, let's say, 200 to 300 calories. And then once you start gaining weight again, you rinse and repeat this process. So I'm gonna type this out, right? You're going to up the freaking calories by 200 to 300, and then rinse and repeat this cycle, right? And this is exactly how you're going to consistently gain weight. And this is the most simple part that a lot of you guys are refusing to understand, is that when you're trying to pack on more mass, when you're trying to pack on more size in the gym, you have to eat more food. I don't understand why you guys are in a situation to where you feel like your body literally won't allow you to gain weight. I understand that you guys have tried to eat a lot of food, but if you're not tracking your food and you're not actually inputting all of the stats week by week, you're not going to linearly make progression. And that's literally the name of the game. We want to be linearly making progression on a consistent basis. And that way we're going to actually gain more weight. So like, bro, this is the most simple thing that you're going to do. It's just your food, right? All you got to do, and hold on, before I forget it, the only thing that you need to do this, you don't even need a freaking measuring cup. You don't need all this other stuff that people say. All you need right here is a freaking food scale, right? And you're like, Isaiah, what do you mean food scale? I didn't even know what a calorie was a couple minutes ago. All right, so a food scale is literally something that put you put your freaking food on, and you weigh out your food. So let's say I can do it off like the top of my head. Let's say like you want to eat some peanut butter, right? You're like, oh, peanut butter is going to help me gain weight. Other than just taking a spoonful of peanut butter and just hoping for the best after your meals, let's say you eat like peanut butter, oats, and freaking eggs for breakfast, right? Eggs for brekkie, all right? So peanut butter, oats, right? Let's say, other than you just pouring out as much food as you possibly can and gorging yourself with food and not even knowing if you're in a surplus or not, and putting yourself in this mental position to where you're hopeless because you're trying your best and you're eating a lot but you're not seeing a result. Let's cut that out and actually see exactly what we're consuming. So if you're eating, let's say, one serving of peanut butter, one serving of oats, and let's say like 3 eggs for breakfast, bro, this peanut butter, let's say one serving is 180 calories. The oats is like 300 calories for 2 servings. And then the eggs is like, I don't know, let's say you eat like 3 eggs. What's that? Let's just throw like 150, 180 out there. Bro, literally almost closed out my freaking loom. That would have been tragic. Literally, bro, all you want to do is weigh all of this out, right? Look on the back of your food. Look on the nutrition facts, like the thing with the barcode, and it shows all the carbs, the fats, bro. Look at that. Look at the amount. Look at the serving size. What does the serving size say? Okay, the serving size says the peanut butter, the serving size for one is 32 grams. Okay, put your plate on the freaking food scale, clear the scale, and then put your bowl, because you're making freaking peanut butter oats, put your bowl on the food scale, pour out the oats, cook the oats, make sure that the oats are tracked, right, with the weight. So you put the bowl on there, you press clear on the scale, and then you pour in the food or pour in the oats until it hits, I don't know, let's say like 80 grams of oats, right? You do the same thing with the peanut butter. Once it's cooked, okay, how many grams of peanut butter am I eating? 32 grams. Okay, let's put that in there. Simple as that, right? You don't need to freaking measure out your food with a freaking measuring cup and get inaccurate. Don't use a freaking Cal AI app that's going to just guess and give you a ballpark. You want to get the exact amount of food that you're eating every single day, and you rinse and repeat this cycle until you hit your freaking calorie goal. And you do this every single day, day after day after day, right? Hit your macros. Rinse and repeat this cycle. Okay, what do I do to gain weight, Isaiah? I can't seem to understand how to do this. Perfectly fine. Now you know what to do. Download MyFitnessPal, input all of this stuff. Get that ballpark. Eat at that ballpark for 2 weeks. If you gain, perfect. Stay there. If you plateau, up the calories by the 200 to 300 until you start gaining again. Okay, how do I track my food? Do this and rinse and repeat this cycle over and over. Okay, now you know how to gain weight. Cool. The biggest thing that some of you guys understand is one of the most basic things ever is just understanding how to eat and how to track your food. And the fact that a lot of you guys get intimidated by the fact that you have to track your food every single day and you think this is going to give you a freaking eating disorder. If anything, bro, that's just an excuse and a cop-out, and that's why you're still skinny. You haven't made any freaking progress because you're making these excuses. Oh, I don't want to be viewed as a weirdo that weighs out all the food. Okay, do you just want to be making no progress in the gym? No, okay, then do this. There's no reason why you shouldn't be tracking your food. All right, that's one surface level of the freaking macros, right? Second thing is a workout routine. Bro, all of you guys are going to realize that all of these workout routines, the most optimal things that you're going to do are most of the time, bro, 9 times out of 10, if you find a workout plan, it's going to work. You just need to stick to it long term. And a lot of you guys want to jump from workout plan to workout plan. This is what you guys are doing right now. You're either not tracking your food or you do this, right? Let's say you do a freaking workout plan. Let's see you do a freaking workout plan, right? And let's say you got you stick to this plan for like 2 weeks, and then you jump from this plan to this plan, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm making progress here, but then you stall for a little bit, and other than sticking to it and figuring out, oh, how should I be training, what should I be doing, you jump to another workout plan and another workout plan and another, and you go back to the other one that you did, and you go back here and then you go back here, and then bro, you're just jumping from workout plan to workout plan every freaking 2 weeks, and you're wondering why you don't know what works for you, because you're not sticking to something that's working for you long enough to understand that it actually is working for you. Bro, for a minimum, I say if you're gonna try a new workout split, bro, stick to it for 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months, stick to it. And if you feel like, okay, this workout plan is actually trash, I hate the way, I don't prefer to train this style, then switch it. But don't just think a workout plan is gonna magically fix the problem that you're having, because in reality, it's not. In reality, and we're about to go into training right now, is you're not doing these things, right? You're not training hard enough. Let's talk about intensity, right? Let's talk about intensity. And let's do like IRR. Okay, cool. So cool. You found a workout plan. You've been sticking to, I don't know, let's say upper lower. I run the upper lower. A lot of my clients love upper lower. So I throw that to them, or they do like a up or PPL or something like that. Whatever it is, whichever method of training that you prefer and that you can maintain long term, same thing with your diet, is going to be the best one. So, biggest thing that you guys need to understand when it comes to your training style is that until you get to a point, or when you get to the point to where your intensity is literally maxed out, you're leaving gains on the table. And yeah, you can argue, Isaiah, you're supposed to be leaving an IRR of like 2 in the tank, or I don't want to be training too hard to injure myself, or if I train too hard, people around me are going to think I'm stupid because I'm making noises and silly faces. Then okay, click off the video if you don't want to make progress because you think training hard is going to make people laugh at you. You freaking moron. All right, I know that wasn't a nice thing to say, but it's just reality. All right, what is IRR? IRR is the amount, basically, this is the amount of reps that you have in the tank. You should be training with the intention of, and I'm going to draw this out so you guys can really understand the importance of training hard. Let's say you're hopping on the bench, right? Let's say you got the bench, you got the plates right here, and then you're pressing it. Okay, cool, right? When you're training, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that there is a big, fat, ugly dude in the gym that is pointing a freaking gun at your head. And if you don't train or hit this set as hard as you possibly can, he's going to shoot you and he's going to be happy about it, right? We don't want to make the IRR fat man happy. We want to train as hard as possible. Now, of course, when you're a freaking beginner, you don't want to be taking your free weight sets to absolute failure, but you don't want, you have no excuse to do this when it comes to machines. So unless you want the fat man to shoot you after your set is over and you don't want to make any gains, train hard, right? Train, like I said, like if you have, let's say, more than freaking 2 reps in the tank, the fat man's gonna shoot you, okay? And if you train with that mindset, you're gonna hit your freaking sets as hard as you possibly can, and that's where you're actually gonna make the most progress. And now, when it comes to volume, when it comes to the amount of sets or reps that you want to do, rule of thumb, in my opinion, and especially if you're a beginner, bro, and you're skinny, right? We're gonna stay on this freaking skinny side because that's what most of you guys are dealing with right now. You want to be focused on getting your meals in and linearly getting stronger, right? If you just focus on gaining half a pound to a pound a week, right? You don't want to be freaking dirty bulking. I know you guys are on social media. You see all these guys on roids drinking freaking chocolate milk, eating donuts, eating like 10K gals every single day. And you're like, oh, he did it. He's still lean and he's freaking jacked, bro. You're not on roids. You're not blasting freaking gear. And you want to stay alive for a long time. So gain like half a pound to a pound a week at most 1.5 pounds, right? If you're like extremely skinny, obviously you have more wiggle room. Like my guy Yazzer, he's 6'1". He went from, I think he was like 130 to like 145 in like a month, right? But obviously that's like an anomaly, an anomaly, right? Like, or a freaking, he's like the very very special kind of client, I guess, right? I probably said that wrong, but anyway, like I said, the reason why you want to be gaining like half to a pound a week is because you don't want to just be gaining fat. Like a lot of you guys, and this is going to sound kind of counterintuitive because you're like, well, the goal is to, gain as much weight as possible. Yes, of course, but you don't want to just be in the gym to gain fat. You want to be in the gym to actually pack on muscle mass and to improve your physique. You can, if you just sit down and eat like 10,000 calories a day, bro, you're going to feel terrible because most likely you're going to be eating bad quality food and you're going to be wrecking your gut health, your skin health, and you're just going to get fat, like I said. So stick to half to a pound a week and focus on linearly getting stronger. And the way that you focus on linearly getting stronger is by logging your lifts, right? What is logging your lifts? Okay, basically all you're doing is taking the amount of sets, reps, and IRR into documentation, right? So let's say you do a set of bench 1 week for like 100. Let's say you do a plate on bench and you get a plate on bench for like 8 and you hit like actual failure. So like let's say you have like an IRR of like 1. Okay. And let's say this is week 1. This is week 1. You do this. Okay, let's say next week you're sticking to a workout plan, so you're gonna be doing, yes, different movements, but more or less you're gonna be doing similar movements so you can actually track, which is another reason why you don't want to just be jumping from one workout routine to another workout routine, because if you keep doing that, you're not going to be able to track if you're linearly progressing, right? You're going to see how all of this adds up, and we're going to get to the internal transformation after this, but a lot of you guys are here to get jacked. So we're going over this first. Anyway, so let's say first week you do this, right? Second week, let's say you do freaking for 9. Okay, same IRR, but you got one more rep than last week. Perfect. This is the ideal situation, right? You guys don't want to be doing freaking 1 rep maxes every single day. You just want to be making small steps forward every single day. And if you're able to log your lifts, you're going to be able to see this in real time. And if you're able to see that, okay, by me doing all of these things, I'm going to have this result. And this is another thing that's going to play a huge freaking role in your gym journey or your self-development journey, is the delayed gratification. Right? The delayed gratification that you get from something that can seem so small as just getting one more rep is going to put you in a state of mind to where you want to input so much more. And this is how you get into the flywheel of making progression, because you understand, okay, by me tracking my meals, by me making sure I'm hitting my macros every single day, by me training like I don't want the fat man to shoot me, and by me making sure that I'm actually doing everything that I need to do, this is the result that I'm getting, which is you getting stronger. And then you doing all of this is ultimately going to lead you to actually developing a physique that you love, because you're going to be more consistent, just because you're going to fall in love with the process or the inputs. So this is one of the biggest things that you're going to do in and outside of the gym, is that you're going to take note that, okay, I'm doing all of this. Not only am I getting stronger, you're going to go from being this freaking stick figure version of yourself that you hate looking in the mirror to actually getting freaking jacked. Right. He's jacked, is he not? Yeah, he is. Anyway, it is the same thing if you're freaking fat. Like, you just do the exact same thing that you heard, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. But it's going to be different if you're fat, because you're not going to be linearly getting stronger unless you're like a complete beginner. But you're still going to see the progress, and all of this is just going to play into each other. And you're going to be in a position to where you know that just by focusing on these pillars, focusing on these small inputs every single day is giving you this result. And then you're going to be in this cycle that I'm gonna just name on the spot, and which is one of my clients is in right now, or all of them in reality, but it's really And right now, because he just started lifting, you're gonna be in the freaking dope bro, dope gym bro cycle, right? Dope for dopamine, right? So other than you sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, you're going to be inputting. And when you see this delayed gratification, the dopamine that you're going to feel from that is going to be associated with these inputs. And you're going to want to crave this input more and more and more because you know it's going to get you here, right? And this is why we see so many guys in the gym to where they're literally tweaking out without going to it. Because in reality, the gym is going to become this, right? The gym is going to become your drug. The gym, these inputs are going to become something that you're going to get addicted to. And then by this happening, guess what? You're going to get freaking jacked because you're in the loop of, I need to do this so I can make progress. And then you're going to be obsessed with the inputs because you know that as long as you keep doing this and you keep tweaking the things that you need to and adjusting, you're going to keep making progress linearly. Okay. So, enough of just the surface level stuff. Let's talk about this internal transformation because you guys don't want to just be in a position to where you're just in the gym and you're loving your physique, but you're not loving who you are as a person. All right. And we're going to go over this stuff that I have listed here. Right. The whole reason why you want to get in the gym is because you want to feel more confident and more self assured. Okay. That in itself is going to come from the inputs. It's going to come from the habits that you develop because you know that you are the type of person that has this physique and you're going to be proud of that. Okay. Another thing, and I'm gonna just show you guys all of it. Anyway, you're gonna improve your mental health and your self-image. And this, you're gonna see it by you sitting down and watching this and really absorbing the things that you're doing. You're gonna see why the gym plays hand in hand with every single other aspect of your life because all of it starts in the gym. And if you're able to apply the things that you learn from the gym to other aspects of your life, you're going to be a freaking unit of a man, right? You're going to improve your mental health and your negative self-image because you're no longer in this victim mindset, right? You're no longer in this state to where you're like sad little Timmy, or even me, because I was in this position. You're freaking sad. You hate yourself. You're in this cycle of degrading thoughts because you want to get out of this situation, but you don't know what to do. And you're trying all these other things and nothing is working. So little Timmy is just going to stay in this freaking box and he's going to stay chained down to his negative self-talk. And he's never going to make any progress because he's refusing to draw that line. He's refusing to input in a way that he needs to. And because of that, little Timmy knows that every single day he is refusing to act on the things that he wants. And this is going to make little Timmy more and more frustrated. And then eventually he's going to get into a freaking echo chamber of degrading thoughts because he knows that he's not the version that he wants to be, and he knows that he's doing nothing about it. And he's going to be hearing things from other people, little jokes, this and that. Oh, look at little Timmy, look at his arms. Oh, why are you hiding yourself behind your hoodies? You're so small, you're so this, you're so that. And then he's going to repeat these over and over and over and over again, and he's not going to do anything about it. And then he's going to just submit. And this is what a lot of you guys are doing right now. And this is what I did when I first started, or before I started, is you're going to submit to your circumstance. And a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys are in this position right now and you don't even realize it because you've tried so many things, but because you haven't tried it in the right way, you're in a situation to where you feel hopeless and helpless. And like, no matter what you do, you're never going to be able to get out of the cycle. And then that is just going to amplify the negative self-talk, the negative image, and the lack of confidence that you have because you're refusing to take action in a way that's actually going to yield your results. And some of you guys realistically just don't know what to do. And because of that, all these things that you're trying, you're not being consistent enough with it because you're not seeing results immediately. You're not sticking to it enough. And you feel like literally no matter what you do, you're going to be stuck in this box, right? And this is literally what happened to me with my self-hatred. I was in this box so much that the only thing that I thought was going to get me out of this situation and get me out of the pain that I was in was doing this, right? And a lot of you guys could be in this situation right now to where you're so just you're so set in your self-victimization that you feel like this is the only way out. And I've been in that situation as well. And I'm not just gonna sit here and say that the gym is gonna stop you from feeling this way or feeling like this is the only way out, but it's definitely gonna give you a sense of control in your life. And when you're able to do these things, this little box that Timmy is in is going to be broken free because he's no longer just sitting around feeling sorry for himself. He's actually getting up and becoming the type of person that he knows he should be and that he wants to be. But until he does that, until he draws that line and jumps out of this box, he's always going to be stuck in here in this mental hole to where he can't get out. And eventually, worst case scenario, like I did, he's going to convince himself that the only thing that he can do is this. And I don't want you guys to be in that situation. It sounds like somebody's screaming in this freaking Starbucks. Anyway, okay, right? And while you are inputting and developing the right habits and showing up for yourself and pushing through when it gets hard, and you're doing the things even when you don't want to, you're going to gain confidence and social respect because you already have the physique. You already have this. And as sad as it may seem, when people are able to look at one of these people, right? Let's say they look at one of these versions of yourself, right? The sad reality that you guys have to accept is that little Timmy right here, his physique and the way that he carries himself is going to communicate that he's not the type of man that demands respect. And because of that, most likely 9 times out of 10 people are not going to respect him because he's carrying himself like a man that doesn't even deserve to be respected versus big jacked Timmy that actually is disciplined and gets stuff done and knows that he's been doing all of these things, practicing the right habits and transforming his thought process. He's going to carry himself like that version of him because he knows what he's doing, and that is going to be kind of a radiation of who he is as a person, thus making people respect him more. And this is where you get that social respect. And all of this is going to be a productive cycle of self-acceptance and self-development because as long as you continuously do this every single day, I can promise you that you're going to go from being this version of yourself that feels like this, and this is just 8 things that some of you guys feel right now, to 100% getting to a point to where you demand the respect that you want. You're confident. You're able to go to the freaking beach. You're able to walk with your head up and to do the things that you know you want to do because you know in the dark you're the man that is the type of man that you want to be. Okay. And then obviously discipline. You have to be disciplined to do this because every single day without fail you're doing this over and over and over again, and you're pushing yourself in your hardest sets. You don't want the fat man to freaking shoot you, and you're pushing through this. You're able to physically force yourself to be uncomfortable on a consistent enough basis and do the thing that you need to do even when you don't want to. So of course you're going to get to a point to where you're disciplined and your consistency is going to be solidified, right? And this is where the identity shift comes in because now you're not only going to be freaking jacked, you're going to be the person that has the jack physique. You're no longer going to be this version of you that you don't want to be. You're no longer going to be this version of you that doesn't do the things that they need to do and just sits around in this little box and feels sorry for themselves until they end up convincing themselves that this is the way out, which is, I mean, I can say that because I was in that position as well, because that's just the reality of it. You're going to be the type of person that does this, that does that. And all of these things are going to shift your identity, and you're going to be a completely different person by the end of it. But the only way that this is going to work is through this process. So that's why it's always going to be important for you to go from being this version of yourself internally to becoming the person that has this physique, and eventually it's going to be inevitable that you get it, and it's just going to be the cherry on top. Because in reality, like I said, the physique doesn't matter if you don't end up getting to a point to where you feel like this genuinely on the inside. And we see this all the time. We see people hop on gear. They're still waking up late. They're sleeping until 12 p.m. They're eating whatever they want. They're going out. They're partying. They're doing drugs. They're doing this. They're doing that. And then, yeah, they're jacked, but then they're freaking losing their minds. They hate who they are, and they're walking around with their head down, hiding their physique still because they're putting all of their eggs on their physique versus putting all of their eggs on the things that really matter, which is internally being the man that you want to be. right? And then you're going to prove the doubters wrong. As cliche as it sounds, when you guys start in the gym, you're not secure in yourself. When you start in the gym, people are going to probably make fun of you, and all the people that used to comment on your body and push you around and make fun of you are not going to be able to do that anymore. And if anything, they're going to start asking you for help, because that's what happened to me. I used to be pushed around when I was freaking 90 pounds. People would make fun of me. I posted me working out one time on my story, and people were just laughing like, dog, you're going to get to a point to where all the people that were clowning you are not going to be able to do that anymore, even though that's not important. It's just the harsh reality of it, or really not even the harsh reality. It's just the reality, right? And then obviously the physique. And you guys can see that by doing all of this stuff, it's not just about getting this physique. By doing this stuff, you're getting yourself out of this mental box that you've been in for so long. And because of that, you're drawing that line and then becoming the version of yourself that you like absolutely love. In this way, you're going to be able to walk around with your head up, demand respect, X, Y, and Z. So that's a little breakdown on how going to the gym is actually going to ridiculously change your lives. And this was a pretty, I say, if you before this video, if you apply all of this and you didn't even know what you were doing initially, if you do all of this stuff, I guarantee that you're going to get the freaking result, regardless of how long it takes. Focus on winning the day, focus on the inputs, focus on developing the habits and becoming the person that has this physique versus just focusing on the finish line. Because at the end of the day, you can get to the finish line and it's nothing because you didn't focus on actually becoming the version of yourself that you're genuinely proud of. The physique's just a cherry on the top, and in reality, without this, it doesn't matter. So apply all the stuff that you learned in this freaking video, and you're going to get jacked. And if you want to work with me directly to make sure that you become the best version of yourself through the gym, then book a call with me. It's in the link in my description, and I'll pin it in the comments. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. I have a free community that's going to help you guys even more. But I guarantee if you apply all of this stuff that you learned in this video, you're going to get jacked. And not only that, you're going to become the man that you want to be. So love you guys. Jesus loves you too. And apply something that you learned from this and become the version of you that you want to be.